Well, September is Childhood Cancer Awareness Month, a time to recognize, of course, the children and their families battling just the unthinkable. And today we are joined by two filmmakers from right here in Alabama, Dalton Cossey and Mary Claire Bone, whose new short film, Eric's Last Drop, takes a very personal look at the lasting impact of this disease. Guys, thank you so much for coming on the show. And first, I want to, again, thank you for your time and really congratulate you for living the dream, right? Dalton, you're from Dothan, Mary Claire, you're from Gadsden. First, how did two Alabama kids end up making movies in the City of Stars?
Thank you. Well, we started doing theater in Alabama. We met at the Alabama Youth Theater Extravaganza in Gunnersville, Alabama. And yeah, connected over our love of stories, theater, movies, and we decided to move to Los Angeles to do that. So
yeah, and again, there you are in LA. Now, again, I feel like every kid's dream at some point, but you are living it out. And Dalton, I want to start with you because I understand, speaking of kids' dream, this is a very personal project for you. It comes from a very personal place. Walk us through a little of, again, your experience, your upbringing, your childhood, and how that kind of shaped the way you approached writing and directing Eric's Last Drop.
Yeah, so I was born and raised in Dothan, Alabama, and I was diagnosed with Burkitt's lymphoma at 4 years old, and I was treated at Children's Hospital in Birmingham. And I remember having a lot of fun and kind of being just, I was a kid and I made a lot of jokes and I rode on my IV pole down the hall and I got in trouble for riding on my IV pole down the hall. And, I tried to do my best to make everyone laugh, and I still do. And so I made this short film, Eric's Last Drop, and tried to tug at the heartstrings, but also to, still bring joy and a lot of laughs. Make people feel good. So.
Yeah, I love that you've combined, again, the humor with certainly the heaviness of the subject, because I think, too, a lot of cancer movies, pretty typical cancer movie, might lean toward tragedy, obviously, romance maybe in some ways. But Mary Claire, I want to bring you in because you are also, again, a co-writer on this project, a producer as well. What kind of drew you to this narrative? And again, I'm told you guys kind of wanted to make it kind of funny and weird in certain ways. So kind of walk me through the storyline and what people can expect.
Yeah, I mean, Dalton and I wrote it together, obviously. So it's very personal to me as well, just because he's my partner in real life as well. So I think there's kind of that personal connection there because through the film, we see the effect that his experience is having on his friends and his girlfriend. So I think that the film is really less about his personal experience and more about the lasting effect that it can have on the people around him. So I think that the narrative of it, also leaning into the funny aspect and like the childlike aspect, really helps tell that story in its most honest way, I guess.
And again, we know it's going to capture hearts in a lot of ways. And with that too, guys, for people who do watch the film or maybe a family experiencing this, right? Again, Dalton, you've been there. Mary Claire, you're coming alongside him now in this process to tell this story in a unique way. Any kind of final word just from both of you on just the realities of this and just any kind of words of encouragement?
Yeah, the reality is it's the hardest thing anybody can go through, and the way that everyone experiences it is going to be different, and what they feel about it is going to be different. And this is just kind of how I felt about it, and maybe it's similar to the way that someone else feels, and maybe it's not. But my hope is that someone will see it and say, yeah, that's about as weird and upsetting and strange and also kind of funny that it is. And everyone has their own different way of processing it, and this was mine.
Guys, well, we know it's going to be a powerful picture in so many ways. Big question now, people who want to watch. Again, it's coming soon. Tell us where we can tune in, find a copy of it, and really just support you guys along the way in your filmmaking journey.
Yeah, so you can follow us on Instagram at Eric's Last Drop, and that's where you can find everything. We're still raising money to go to festivals and whatnot around the country and in Alabama. And we are hopefully planning an Alabama premiere next summer.
Awesome. We'll be on the lookout for it. Dalton, Mary Claire, thank you again for coming. Congrats to you for what you're doing. Again, truly living the dream. I imagine it presents its challenges in a lot of ways, being a filmmaker out there in Hollywood, but we're cheering you on back here home in Alabama, and hopefully we'll see you soon and wishing you all the best in the upcoming festivals.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so
much.
Thank you.